Can we all stand for the pledge, please?
Yep.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Kathy Altensee. Here. Nikki Bender.
Here.
Melinda Cook. Here. Joy Sellers.
Here.
Patrick Sellers.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All righty. The first order of business is the approval of minutes. I need a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Bender, second by Sellers. Please take a look at the minutes. If you haven't already. Are there any questions on the minutes?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Mike, would it be okay if I brought this up next, our bills payable? Can I
Sure.
do that?
Unless the board would say no, but
Board members, would it be okay
No.
if? Would it be okay if I brought the approval of bills payable up next behind the approval of minutes?
That's fine.
Okay? All right, so I'm going to, next on the agenda is the approval of bills payable. And motion and second, please.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Altensee, second by Sellers. Okay, please take a look at the bills payable.
just so you know, there's two numbers set.
I know.
Okay.
I know. That's why I didn't say number 7, because there's 2. Number 7. That's my fault. I should have saw that.
I should have too, I haven't seen.
Do you just have a separate bill or accounting of how much we've paid out in water bills?
I have that figure. I have that for you guys. Do you want to know right now?
No, that's okay.
I can-
Wait.
But maybe like if it was just listed separately, is that possible?
I'm sure it is. I
Yeah.
can,
Maybe just put an asterisk in.
you know, okay.
Or
you-
like just in this,
Can I-
like just a separate line item so then we can see the total too.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll talk to Liz about putting an extra line, and we'll have and have the total for the.
Separate from home relief.
Gotcha. Okay. I will do that.
We can really keep an eye on it.
Gotcha. I will talk to her about that tomorrow. Okay? I'll put it, see if we can't put it towards the bottom. Okay?
That's fine.
Put it towards the bottom. Okay. Are there any questions on claims and demands? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Altensee. Aye. Cook.
Yes.
Sellers.
Yes.
Bender.
Aye.
Sellers.
Aye.
All right, motion passed.
Motion passed. Okay. The next order of business is a presentation of grant requests for Freeport Middle School for the Oliver project. I need a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Who seconded it? Kathy.
What's the motion for?
Yeah, that's what I was.
Oh.
Discuss it?
No, to
discuss
discuss
it.
it.
Oh,
Need a
we
motion?
we don't need a motion second, do we?
Well, if you're
Just
gonna
for the-
approve it,
No, okay, scratch that, no motion second, we're gonna just have this a presentation. Got it, sorry about that, that's my mistake, Let's come forward, please, and,
Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I am Robert Winter. I am the technical director at Freeport High School, in charge of the Jeanette Lloyd Theater. I am also a co-producer for the Oliver project that's happening this summer. I, assuming all of you are aware of what exactly that project is. Basically, it's a third grade. We have 3rd through 8th grade kids that have all signed up and started learning songs from Oliver. Actually, tonight we're going to start adding in adults, and so it's going to be, I think our oldest is around 65. So basically, 3rd grade up to 65. Everyone's going to be involved, and we're going to put on the production of Oliver on August 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. what we're asking is two things. One is we are selling advertising space in our program to basically cover the price of the program, as well as some other advertising costs that we have. You probably noticed our sign has gone up on the digital billboard outside of Higher Grounds, and this week you'll start seeing yard signs out and whatnot. So that's what this money is going to that we're asking for. It's not going to the actual production at all. So you're basically buying advertising space in the program and or sponsoring a night. So the space in the program is either a full page, which is, it's a normal like Pelly Bill size, so it'd be half of an 8.5 by 11. It would be the full size page, and then obviously half would be half of that, and you'd share a page with somebody else. The sponsoring a night would look something like, before the show starts, we always have a message that says turn off your cell phones and stuff like that. It would say tonight's show of Oliver is brought to you by Freeport Township. That would be what the means by sponsoring a night. So there's obvious, and then the last form would be if you wanted your logo on the back of our t-shirts, would be the last option there. So basically we have, I do believe, I can see you all have one, kind of a menu of how those things all fit together for how you can get different things put together. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Oh,
How does this
Got it last
connect
meeting.
with this wish list?
That's a different thing. So that's just for kind of you're covering Oliver for this year. I was told from Patrick that basically our theater is getting old and we have some equipment that's getting older. So because this is really the first time that our theater has really been used for community basis. Obviously, it's been mostly the high school has been using it or the junior high, and we were hoping that this is going to be a year after year after year thing. That every year we put on a, 3rd through 8th grade is going to learn parts of the show, and then we add in community members, and it's a full thing. But to do that, some of our equipment would need to be updated. So that's kind of what the wish list comes in. So all of those things would be, basically we're looking for grant money that could help pay for certain items that are all obviously could be used for 10 to 20 years. The first thing on the list is LED lights. The theater world is moving more and more into LED, just like everyone else is. So that would help our theater become more efficient, but also LED lights are very cool in the fact that you don't have to, from scene to scene, you can change the color of them and other things like that. So they're very multi-usage.
You got a copy of what he's talking about?
yeah, right here.
The second thing on the list is a fog machine. Because our theater is so large, we've had problems finding an appropriate size fog machine, and our vendors have told us that this is the one we would need to fill up that space with fog or haze. If you have seen a production anywhere, you'll notice that they use haze to make the light show a little bit more dramatic. And then the last thing on there is a digital soundboard. Our soundboard right now is starting to die, for lack of a better word. The way a soundboard dies is generally you lose channels at a time. So it's still usable, but like right now our channel 1 can't be used at all. So channel 2 is our new channel. So, and that obviously puts more stress on things as it gets. So that obviously is working for us and we can get through it, but we would like to look at getting a new soundboard. The other reason that I would like to go is we have an analog soundboard right now. I am starting to teach kids about sound. Atypically, before this, we have taught lighting, construction, painting, and costuming, those aspects of tech theater. I really am trying to bring in, we have a big gap of people that just don't know how to run sound and stuff like that. And the new age thing is to do it all digitally. Because along with this board, we have like an iPad that you can control it with and whatnot. So that's where the realm is going. So I'd like to prepare students, obviously, for what they could potentially going into.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
This equipment, who would own this equipment outright?
The theater.
The theater?
Yes.
But is that the school district?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Yes.
The school district would
There
own
would be
it
a school
outright.
district stamp that would go onto it. Everything that the theater owns
Uh-huh.
is owned by the Freeport School District at the end of the day.
Hold on, Joy, one more quick question. Did you run this past the school board? Because I would think the school district would want to be the ones to purchase this. Am I off the mark with that?
Okay, so Public School Fund did give us a grant for new microphones last year. So
Okay.
they are very helpful with that.
Okay.
And actually, that is the next thing. So basically, we can only ask for so much from them every year because
Okay.
there is obviously,
$1,500, right? Is that about, how much do they, I don't know, I was an art teacher, but how much do they give the theater department in a year?
well, last year was the biggest amount they've given us. They gave us a $7,000 because they gave us all brand new mics, which is very nice. There are other things, they've given us smaller amounts, and there are other things that also are being replaced. So we are going to them for asking for other items as well. Our spotlight is, our spotlight right now is on its last bulb, and they don't make the bulbs anymore. So there's things like that because our theater is 50 years old, that all of this is kind of getting replaced. These are just 3 items that we kind of pulled down. As far as in the past, what usually pays for upgrades of equipment is ticket sales. So we make so much money on a show. Obviously, we're not for profit, so we put that money into the next show, but we also buy the necessary equipment out of that. So that's what's bought our equipment in the past. But as many of you know, people at Freeport aren't coming to things as much as they used to, so that excess amount of money that used to pay for the equipment isn't there as readily as it used to be. So.
'Cause don't they still do, what's that, Showtime?
Mhm.
So what, and then don't they travel on that too with Showtime? So I'm just wondering, maybe it might be a year where they can't travel because they gotta get new equipment. And you know, I just don't understand why, I mean, I can understand the t-shirts and the ad in the paper, but the equipment to me just seems like if we bought it, but the school district owned it, I don't know, that's just my feeling. But I can understand the ad in the paper and all that kind of stuff. I can understand all that.
Absolutely. And that is 90% of what we are asking people is for that stuff. The equipment is just, we were asked to put it out there and see what it is. The biggest thing I'm concerned about is Oliver at this point, but like I said, our theater's getting old, a lot of our equipment needs to be updating, so we are kind of fishing out to things that we haven't normally done. On the front of Showtime, all of Showtime is paid for from the traveling part is paid for from the students.
What about the rest?
We don't pay anything for that.
What about the rest of it? Like the big time sets that they make every year and like, what funds that? Ticket sales?
Ticket
for
sales.
Showtime?
Yep.
Well, and Showtime's at the Masonic, isn't it?
No, it's
No.
this theater.
Oh, it was years ago.
So-
How many other places have you asked for donations?
As far as the
Equipment.
no one else has gotten this list yet. Well, not that I know of. I do know Annette Connell, the other producer, has asked other individuals as well if they'd be interested in that. As far as the advertising, I think we're up to 5 different people that are offering advertising space.
Is this a similar sort of advertising scheme, price scheme? Does that occur for all the productions, like the high school puts on and Showtime?
No. It's all kind of different. So our theater is ran, it's 6 or 7 different accounts. Each show has its own account, so it's all ran individually. It is the same kind of thing that happens for the musical, except for it's all handled by an outside person. So they get he does all of his own advertising, gets all the money, and then he actually does all the programs for all of the high school musicals in the fall. So he collects money from Lena, Orangeville, all over, and does it. I don't know exactly what prices he gets. We don't actually see any of that money. He just produces programs for us. So that's where we got the idea from, though, because that is how our musical is ran. So.
The reason why I wanted you to come this evening is because this decision has to be made by the entire board, not just by me.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to present to the entire board and make your request known to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why
Absolutely.
I asked you guys to come. I asked you to come.
Mm-hmm.
Board members, any more questions or comments?
I do think like the Freeport High School arts programming is really awesome, but
Thank you.
I personally feel we pour a little too much into like the performing arts and music and not enough into visual arts, so like I get a little,
Mm-hmm.
these are big numbers, and I know also a little bit about all the stipends and things that go into all of the music and performing programs, so it does seem like they probably give you this too, right?
Who?
The school board,
No.
the
No.
budgets.
Because this is just for Oliver.
Yeah.
This,
So
this is,
So-
this part, but this part is for the whole
Right.
Jeanette Lloyd, anything that
Right.
goes down. So
Right.
that's for any musical,
years.
any music
Right, right.
department, which like obviously is great, it's wonderful, it's amazing what we do. But
But you just have
Visual
some
arts are cool,
concerns
too.
with these numbers, right?
No, these are
Oh, okay.
fine.
Okay.
We can, we should do something, yeah.
You know, I don't have a problem. Oh, do we do that now or do we?
No, we don't do that
Oh,
now.
okay.
So, any other questions? As I said, I have, if you guys choose to do just the advertising, that is absolutely okay with me. I was just told to, you know, like I said, it's more a thing of we've created a program that takes a certain amount of dollars to keep it going, and as equipment gets older, you have to replace it, and those aren't, you know, we are, like, I've been planning on the new soundboard for a while, so I am saving some money back, but, you know, if someone were to purchase that, that money could go to something else as well. Because this is just a short list that I was asked to create in a day. So I could easily a list of a bunch of stuff. That's the only reason that we are kind of reaching our fingers out and looking for more bodies like this and more companies that would be willing to put that stuff on there. I will say this, as far as buying equipment, actually this just came up today. The class of 2015 gave us $1,000 when they graduated because they're not allowed to keep their money. And so that went to our renewing all of our painting area stuff. And there was a sign that was put on there that says donated by the class. So if you were to buy one of the bigger items, there would be a sign that goes up that says this was donated by this, and that would be up permanently. So it would be not just we put it in the program for Oliver and then forget about it. I am very big on that. Whenever people give us money, I either make sure that all of it goes into every program or a sign is put up somewhere in the theater. Because obviously, no one's ever going to see the lights themselves or see the soundboard, but a sign could go out in the lobby that says, you know, we appreciate these donations, because like I said, we are having to ask for what is outside of normal terms of money, and so we like to give that back because I think it's very important that it remains, you know, a Freeport community that obviously if the community is supporting it, it needs to keep on going. If people aren't supporting it, then that is what it is, so.
And one other question, is Summer University funded by the school district, or is that a the Summer University program?
Yes. And yes. So they have so as I said, this money doesn't go towards the actual production at all. So they have covered some of the production costs, and so they actually, for the majority, they paid for the rights, and then the set is what Summer University.
The rights are what's expensive.
Yes, the rights are what kill us. So it was very nice that they put that money forth. So this is just covering, because we wanted to put out a really nice posters, and you'll see the signs around town, the posters around town. We just wanted to have a really quality stuff for that. So to do that, need some more money on top of that. So that's what this is covering. So advertising costs and the program cost. So
what is the financial goal to cover advertising and?
To cover shirts, program, and advertising is just under, I want to say $4,800.
We're going right
So
now.
who's all getting the t-shirts?
120 people.
Everybody money.
Or is it everybody that's
Yes.
working on the program?
Yep, every orchestra, every kid, every adult, the entire production staff.
Your business.
Yeah, there's a reason we have 5 t-shirt companies in town. But yeah, all, so right now we have plans to print 120 shirts. So, and then I do know I have parents of those kids that also want to buy them as well. So,
Now, these t-shirts are given to them, or are they purchased?
given, we are not asking, they're not, the kids aren't,
Parents have to buy them.
Yeah.
parents will have to buy them because that's on top of what we budgeted. But we budgeted for every actor, techie, orchestra, director, and kid will get a shirt for free, which is why we're coming and asking for money for them. So, yeah, I am very big on that because not everyone has the $7 or $8 to extra to do that, but it adds up quickly. It is, yep, $4,500 for all of the programming and all of the shirts. So, or sorry, all of the advertising and all the shirts.
And
So
the yard signs, are they just out for everybody that's?
they're gonna go to the, we have some 4x8 ones that are going in distinct places. So like when you come in on Semino's will be one. There's one gonna be on Park and Stevenson. I have 4 places now that you've asked. But we have 4 of those going basically to the main entrances of the town. The yard signs are gonna go to the 20, all of the actors that basically have a name,
Oh.
and then the directors. So they will be all over town. So, and that's also something that we don't normally do for our normal production stuff during the year. So kids do have to pay for that kind of stuff, so. And then it's also, the radio would be the other thing that is,
They cost?
the cost that would be covered with this money, so,
Is there a Facebook event?
yes. The, the Facebook event, that is on my list to do, but FSD 145 is putting on their site and that'll start getting shared out. And then we'll also make a Facebook event, so, that is
Free.
free, which is why,
And very
yes,
easy
yeah.
to access people.
It's funny because that conversation comes up all the time with our advertising and whatnot. Is Facebook is great and it has helped us a lot in the last couple of years, but the minute it hits the radio, my wife's in charge of ticket sales for all year round, and she always says the day it hits the radio, we almost always see a bump. And so even though that costs money, I always, everyone's like, does anyone listen to the radio?
What, radio
Yeah.
station?
So
Not Freeport anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, but,
people must.
I'm usually just Spotify.
Yeah.
Just living from my fingers.
So it does amaze me because there are lots of people that say that, but yet we always see an uptick in sales when it hits the radio. So,
Okay.
and there'll be for free. There's actually going to be articles in the junior high or in the Journal Standard as well, which is cool. So,
All right. Excellent. Thank you.
yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Have a good night.
Night. What's left of the day?
This is something that we're gonna have to discuss. We'll have to discuss this.
Okay.
Because the way I see it, the school district levy just like we do.
Right.
They levy,
Way more.
and they get more than we do. So I understand.
Hundreds of salaries.
I understand that.
Right.
I understand that.
Yeah, I
But,
know that.
but-
They get a lot of big stuff done too.
yeah, yes, they do. But we have to keep in mind that we're dealing with taxpayer dollars too. So I certainly understand we may want to discuss about the advertising, that's fine. But the equipment
Oh,
deal,
I was done with
I don't,
the equipment. That's just way too
I'm against that one.
Especially
And I
when they
definitely
have-
do not think that we should advertise. That is a no-no.
Because everybody's gonna want us to advertise.
Exactly.
You don't advertise, no. That's absolutely,
So,
DHS taking an ad out.
yeah.
What?
DHS taking an ad out.
Who's
This is my
Department of
thing.
Human Services,
This is my thing.
Public Aid.
I don't mind, at first, I did think it was this big equipment. And my mindset was like, why would we buy the school district equipment? And well, you know what? They need to budget their money, or they need to do whatever it is to make that program work for them.
exactly.
I said, that's why I was like a no, you know, and I thought this out, that was a no. But then when he came to me, and us, and he asked for just an advertisement to help, I don't have a problem with that, but I have a problem with the amount, you know, because like Nikki said, and I think too, is that once you start, it's gonna be a knock on the door for
Everything.
every little thing, and everything can touch your heart. It's the kids. They're 8-year-old kids. I mean, hey, you know, but you can't answer everybody's call.
You can
Absolutely.
support it by attending the theater.
You can support,
Right.
yes. Yeah,
We can
you
buy tickets
support it.
and you can go. So,
Right, I don't have, but I do know that we are a community, agency, and that we do help the community, and we don't know in the people that we've helped or are helping with any area, it might be one of their kids. You know, we also want the community to see that we do have a, you know, we can't do everything, but we do have a heart for some things in the community. It's the school district, it's the kids.
That's
I don't mind
not-
taking a small ad, but I just don't wanna go over, what was the lowest?
we can discuss this again, but.
I just think we have our bills, I mean, things that we need to take care of, and school districts has their things to take care of. And I think this is the school district's responsibility, not ours,
But you're saying on the equipment,
on anything.
even in the
On anything.
advertising?
I don't believe we should advertise. Township has never put an ad that I know of ever in anything. You don't advertise township,
Well,
no.
it's more sponsorship might be a better
Yeah.
term to use. Sponsorship.
But what
That's
makes
not-
you, what are you, I mean, I just wanna know, cause I guess I'm just having a hard time in a little bit, is what do you mean that we don't advertise? You know, you don't advertise, I don't know what, I'm just trying to figure out.
We have never advertised all the years I've been on township. Have we ever paid for an ad in anything? Why
So
would we?
Freeport, whatever we are, I can't think right now. So we've never.
If we
been
spend
behind
$500 for an
anything or
ad, that might be two people that we can pay their water bill.
Right,
support? True.
and we're general assistants.
How
And
would
that's
the
what I'm
ad-
thinking.
how
We
would
have a
the
big program
advertisement-
going right now,
Okay.
How would
and I
the
think we better just
advertisement-
take care of that program.
And with that being said,
How would the advertisement benefit township?
none. But with that being said, you're right. Because if we're trying to support people with a water bill.
We
that-
can't do everything,
Right,
and I think we've agreed we want to do the water bill, so
right.
I just
So
think.
with that
I
being
won't-
said, I have
won't
to say, okay.
Vote for it.
Pardon me?
Discuss the water bill.
Yeah, yeah, that's the next thing.
Yeah, that's the next thing.
Right,
Okay,
so, I agree with you.
okay. The next order of business is, this is,
Discussion.
yeah, this is something that I thought would be important for us to do, and I'll explain to you guys why. The next order of business is discussion of the intergovernmental agreement for the use of town's emergency assistance funds to support township residents with unpaid municipal water and sewer invoices. Do I need a motion to second that, Mike, or no?
This is just a
Just
discussion.
discussion, okay.
Another discussion.
Okay. I know you guys are probably asking why this came up. It is important that we are reinvesting our tax dollars back into our community. What this intergovernmental agreement states to the city is that 100% of the funds that we pay out through our emergency water assistance to the city, 100% of that money has to go to capital repairs and nothing else. No salaries, no event signs, it goes to repairing our water and sewer, period. Now, when I told our attorney that, he kind of looked at me over his glasses because he knows this is going to probably have them mad at me, but I don't care. The fact of the matter is, at this point in time, we've paid $17,000 and some odd dollars to the city. That money should be reinvested back into fixing our water infrastructure. That's what I believe. Now, I'm willing to listen to the board. What do you all think about this? Would you all support this? Yes or no? Maybe. Give me your thoughts. I'm all ears.
Is that something you can specify and they will abide?
That's the question, yeah, will they abide by it?
Well-
Okay, so if they don't abide by it, then what do we do? Stop it?
And who are you
Yeah,
hurting?
that's like a weird
Yeah, who are you
standoff.
hurting?
No, it's not a weird standoff because they need money.
They would
They
rather not.
they need. They,
Bills.
no. They're right. They'd rather not have overdue water bills and shut-off notices. They need money. So right now we have the carrot, and if we have the carrot, that means we have the stick. So we have the say-so in how our tax dollars should be used, even after they leave our hands. We did the exact same thing with the Senior Resource Center. We told them you got $2,500, and it's specified that you can only do it for medical transportation. Why can't we hold the city to the same level of accountability?
Now, how do you know that it's really happening?
Oh, I'm glad you said that, Joy,
Because it's public knowledge.
because it's public knowledge. We paid the city of Freeport $12,588.32 in a month and 12-day period. The city turns around and purchases an event sign for $12,580.
Wow.
What is the
Well,
event?
these
What
are-
is the event that the water
Oh, it
department?
was in the newspaper. They it was I guess to what is it, for barricades and to point people in the right direction, and it can be used for events for downtown. That's not what our money should be going towards.
Let me get this straight, because I'm trying to do this for the minutes.
Mhm.
You're saying we paid the city
$12,588.32.
$12,588 of the money that we
All that was
Water-
emergency
the water.
assistance water
assistance
money.
for that we gave to clients, or the clients got to pay their
Uh-huh.
water bills.
Mhm.
And they used it for something.
I'm not saying that they
Wasn't like
used
a
it for that,
Dollar for dollar.
but it's awful close. If it's $12,888.32 and you paid something for $12,580, you're only $8.32 off that magic mark. So coincidence, okay,
So the sad part of the
Uh-huh.
whole thing
that we have to do this?
is that, why are they charging these people all this money if you got money to blow out a $12,000 sign?
We can't, I
It makes
can't,
sense.
I can't,
That's right.
we can't, we.
Right, I know, we can't, but I'm just saying, I'm thinking, so us helping the people, is it really helping? I mean, it's getting
It's
their
helping
water
water
bills.
bills are,
Yeah.
Yeah.
people
It-
are getting their water shut off, so
Yeah.
yes.
Yes,
Yes.
it's helping,
Now.
but it's.
But we're also helping the city
Spend it
money
another
funny.
way.
But now, that's why this agreement pops into place.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Funny money.
But if it doesn't work, then you might have to.
You
Yeah,
bite the
but don't
bullet.
they have to, I mean, can we FOIA and ask, okay, this is where this is going, this is where that's going, or can they hide it?
Well,
They make a charade out of it.
It's,
But don't you think?
who knows? But I will certainly ask for the expenditures. I will certainly ask for those. I have no problem asking for those. Because I feel strongly about the program and about the usage of the money out of this program. Now, this is not something that I made up these are the words that the city said is gonna, the water and rate increases are gonna be used for capital improvement for the water system. I didn't make that up, they said that. Only thing I want us to do is to ensure that our money that we are paying them, taxpayers' money, is going towards what they promised the
Right.
people it will go towards.
So, can you do that,
Mike.
Mike? Is that even
That
possible?
look might have slipped
Looks like
on
no.
that.
Well, you could, first of all, you can always get the reports, but can you absolutely identify where a dollar is going to go? Probably not.
Probably not.
But it's an enforceable contract. If they agree to do it, if they didn't do it, they'd be in violation of the agreement. You may reconsider the program then, the viability of the program, or,
Can you ask them for the money back if they don't do it?
probably
No,
not.
people say that they won't, right?
They've already spent it.
Right.
It's just like a.
Right.
Nice try, right?
Don't flush that toilet.
So how much money do you have in the town's emergency assistance funds
Right
to
now,
do this?
I think we have left in our town emergency funds, probably about $3,000 left.
How much?
About $3,000 and some odd dollars left. I have
Out of
the,
how much?
out of the 20 that we have.
Where did I put it?
And that was
Have the what?
started in
Out of the 20
February.
that was a
Appropriate
budget.
Yeah.
Okay.
for this purpose.
Right.
Why were the people turned down? What are some of the reasons for having been denied
Oh.
help?
For not having a recognizable crisis or emergency, you just can't come and say, I didn't pay my water bill because, well, I just don't have enough money. That's not a crisis, not an emergency. Now, if you come to us and say, well, my son was in the hospital and we had to pay his hospital bill, and you brought us verified information that your son was actually in the hospital and you actually paid this bill and that this emergency actually puts you behind, and the following month you will be fine without our assistance again, we will approve you. But if you come to us and you are, let's say you don't have a job, or you don't have a job, and you come for assistance. It may be an emergency, but you don't have the income to maintain after we pay to help you out of the crisis. Therefore, we can't assist you. So you're going to have a job. It has to be an emergency situation. It has to be.
It's a one-time payment for each person?
Mhm.
Per year.
For the year.
And $20,000 has gotten us 6 months.
Yes, it has.
And most medical facilities will give you 10 days after that statement comes out. And if you don't make payment arrangements, they will get the money from you,
Mhm.
whether it be your taxes, your job, garnishing wages.
Now, one thing we don't do,
Not anymore.
one thing we will not do,
Freeport does it.
if your water's been turned off for 2 and 3 and 4 years, don't come to us, we're not going to get it reconnected for you. No. It has to be in disconnect status, and you have X amount of time. So we've had people come, well, my water's been turned off for 10 years. I want to get the back bill paid. No, that's not what we do.
Damn.
Yeah?
What if they
Oh.
otherwise,
Oh.
can prove everything
surprised.
else? If that's just the whole.
Oh, yeah, we've had them for 10 years. We have places that water has been turned off and people are still living there. And the water department knew and we told them, and they told us to call the city, to report to the city. Wait a minute, you're the water department. You're right downstairs. Go tell the inspector that the water department is his property. But we're not here to talk about the city. We're here to talk about Freeport Township and our program. Thank you, Mike, for that look that you just gave me. Appreciate that. I appreciate it. Thank you. So,
First he was asleep, now he's giving up.
yeah, he's giving me the look.
I'm not asleep.
So,
I know.
if this is something
today.
that the board is okay with, we will,
How much money are we talking about,
as far as what?
that you want again?
We're just talking about whether we're gonna make a special rule.
Right,
Right.
about the, we're only talking about the,
We're just gonna, okay, we're still on that?
yes, that's all, that's all we can talk about.
Well,
You know, the
okay,
thing of
that's a
it
good
is-
idea.
Okay.
The thing of it is, if you say, okay, this money has to go towards water and sewer, towards the infrastructure, okay, and they prove that it does, then the money that they had in there for infrastructure, they can put somewhere else. So I'm not sure where that's
Yeah.
gonna get us.
You know
anywhere.
what? We can
Go round and
we
round.
can go round
Tell
and
them
round, we can play the
anything.
shell game, we can rob Peter to pay Paul. The fact of the matter is, we need to have something in place to where we are trying to ensure that our tax dollars that we are giving to them being used towards what they say they're supposed to be used for.
I agree with
And
that.
that's to
I think
improve
that's-
our infrastructure.
That's something that would benefit the taxpayers to know that this is what we wanted to do,
Right.
and this is how we're trying to control
Right.
it.
But
That doesn't mean it's gonna happen, but
If we
But
can't,
this
we
is what I'm
can't.
saying. But this
You
is
can
what
try
I
it.
would say in that, Pat, and I totally agree. I totally agree. But why can't we just say the money that we give the city is to help just for infrastructure? That's why we created the program. Now, if they're taking money that we're giving them and doing other, or if that's, we don't know, but we can just say it and it's still the same thing, because that's what it's not.
No.
You gotta write it in
No.
contract.
They have to agree to it.
Have to agree to it.
That the contract is a point to get them to agree that this is a valid restriction.
So if they don't, then
They could look at it and say, no, we were not gonna do that, and then you won't get our money.
But the point of the program is to help individuals who can't pay their water bills.
Absolutely.
And
And then
we
they're
cannot
not
control
gonna
what the city water department does with their funds, wherever they come from. So I think it's unnecessary drama maybe.
You know, I'm gonna tell you, you may think it's unnecessary drama, and to some it may be.
Fruitless.
No, it's not fruitless. The fact of the matter is, we are showing our constituents that we are serious about their tax dollars.
Yes.
That's what it's
Yes.
showing.
that's right, that's what it is.
That's what it's showing. So whether the city agrees or not, they may not agree. They may say, hey, Pat, go jump off the bridge. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. But the fact of the matter is, we are showing that we are trying to be accountable with taxpayer
Right.
dollars.
All
That's
you can
the-
do is try. If they
that's all
say
we
no,
can do.
then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Right, we'll go from there.
All
So,
I can do is say no.
right.
Okay.
All right.
So the consensus is to go for it.
Yeah, I think so, Ed. I think so. I just, no worries. I'll take all the heat for it, trust me.
Right.
I will get it all.
I can handle myself.
I will get it all.
I need to be excused.
And
I need you.
I'm fine with it. All right, there's nothing to vote on, so
Okay.
we got our trustee leaving.
She's coming
I
back.
can't, I gotta use the restroom.
Okay.
This is a longer meeting than usual.
Okay, sorry about that. So we've done the approval of bills payable, okay.
Okay.
Next order of business, supervisor's report.
I need the thing for them to sign with the dad.
This right here? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
I have some handouts to give. This first handout is our first tax disbursement from the county. Gonna hand this way first. Go, huh?
Maida
You
needs
got
one.
one, Maida?
No, Maida does not.
There you go.
Thank you, Matt. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
sir.
You got one, Nikki?
You have enough?
Here you go, yeah, we got enough. Here you go. Here you go.
Thank you.
The next thing I'm gonna hand out is our expenditure to budget report.
That I have.
You have that? Okay. I'm gonna hand this way first. There you go. Nikki, you're gonna need one.
You got one?
Yes, I
Oh, you
got
got
one.
one. Okay.
You take that.
I know. There you go. And here you go. I have also that's all the handouts that I have. And if I'm not mistaken, that is all that I have as well. All right, so with that being said, next order of business is assessor's report.
I have nothing new to report.
Okay. Next order, next order of business is trustees report, trustees.
Nothing.
All righty. Next order of business is public comment. Any public comments?
Steve.
Okay, I'm Steve Carroll, and listening to what's going on here, I'm kind of fascinated that another taxing body has approached you guys for some money, because basically that's what it is. And I'm just going to ask you, remember the priorities. And I think the emergency assistance for the water is absolute top priority. It's needed. Also, the intergovernmental agreement kind of puts the city on notice that somebody's watching, that somebody's concerned. And this is my tax dollars too, and I have great issues with the water and sewer fund. It's essentially a large fund that they draw basically everything out of. I don't know how many of you saw Lowell Crow's article in the paper about where, yeah, that's not a coincidence that that article appeared in there. They're feeling some heat about it.
Explain what you mean by the article.
It was online Friday in the Journal Standard, and he talked about where the expenses go. And part of his salary is paid, comes from the water and sewer fund. And we spent years discussing the problems of the water and sewer fund. And we're being taxed heavily because of it, only to find out that, oops, it's not going to fix the pipes that are constantly breaking. A lot of it is being used, yeah, I've heard rumors about being used for car washes. So, but, I mean,
For Lowell or his assistant?
You can't ask.
it's, yeah, I mean, I know people that used to work for the city, so. So anyway, I just, you guys are doing a good job, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Steve?
Any other public comments? No? Okay. Any other business come before the town? I entertain a motion to adjourn until August 5th, 2019. No, not August 5th, is it?
August,
Yeah.
yes, it is. That's
Oh,
the first
August
Monday.
5th, 2019.
Yeah.
If I'm not here, I might not be here August 5th, but that's cool. But I say so move.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.